The Failure Aesthetics. Memorandum. To the Disintegrated. From the Department of Ontological Deconstruction. Date: a point in the process of unraveling. Subject: a study in dissolution and the constituent parts that remain. The Failure Aesthetics. A deliberate appreciation for the beauty of broken systems. It is the love for the cracked concrete where weeds bloom, the elegance of a stalled machine, the poignant silence of an abandoned idea. This aesthetic does not celebrate failure itself, but finds profound meaning in its aftermath. The truth that is revealed when the polish wears off, the ambition falters, and the underlying structure in its honest, exposed state is finally visible. It is the understanding that a thing's most interesting story is often told by its scars, its rust, and its graceful surrender to entropy. The pleasure of unbecoming, the profound relief of shedding a skin that never fit. This is not destruction, but a slow, deliberate unmaking. It is the joy of letting a hard-held identity soften, dissolve, and drift away like smoke. The pleasure is in the silence that follows the end of a performance and the weightlessness that comes from abandoning a role. It is the active, willful disintegration of the person you are supposed to be, finding a strange ecstasy in the void where a solid self once stood. A taxonomy of collapse. A classification system for the way things fall apart. Category 1. The slow seepage, a gradual loss of pressure, meaning, or vitality. Category 2. The structural fault, a fundamental flaw that gives way under sustained, normal weight. Category 3. The controlled demolition, a deliberate internal triggering of the end. Category 4. The cascading failure, one broken element triggers the next in a rapid, unstoppable sequence. Category 5. The sublime implosion, a collapse so total and inward-facing it creates a perfect vacuum of self. Negative space. The power of the unmarked, the unsaid, the undone. In art, it defines the form. In a life, it defines the action. It is the silence between notes that makes the music. It is the refusal to speak that becomes the loudest statement. It is the path not taken that forever haunts the chosen one. To master negative space is to understand that influence is often exerted most powerfully by absence, that meaning is carved out by what is left out, and that the most significant parts of a person are often the hollows and the voids they contain. A portrait of the void. An attempt to depict the absence that holds the shape. It is not a picture of nothing, but a rendering of the space where something once was. The portrait is defined by its edges, the sharp, painful lines where presence ended and the great, quiet emptiness began. It captures the echo of a laugh, the ghost limb of a lost love, the perfect outline of a belief that has since evaporated. To look upon it is to feel the pull of the vacuum in your own chest. The conscientious objector to life. One who refuses to bear arms in the war of being. They will not participate in the frantic competition, the hollow ambitions, the compulsory optimism. Their protest is a quiet one, expressed through a strategic withdrawal of energy. They object to the terms of engagement, the demand to always want more, to strive, to achieve. Their existence is a sustained note of resistance against the noise of living, a peaceful non-compliance with a draft notice sent to every soul at birth. A manual for disassembly. A guide for taking oneself apart with intention. Step 1. Locate the central narrative. Step 2. Identify the supporting structures of habit and belief. Step 3. With gentle, firm pressure, begin to loosen the connections. Step 4. Lay each component out on a clean surface. Examine it without judgment. Step 5. Do not assume reassembly is the goal. The purpose of the manual is the process itself, the clarity that comes from seeing the intricate, separate pieces of the machine that you are. An atlas of interior ruins, a cartography of the devastated landscapes within. Here lies the crumbled fortress of certainty. There, the flooded city of old affections. To the east, the ashen plains of abandoned projects. This atlas does not seek to rebuild, but to document. It is a traveler's guide to one's own desolations, a way to navigate the wreckage of past selves with a sense of orientation, if not purpose. To hold this atlas is to know that you are a territory of beautiful, haunted places. Your God is a neurotransmitter, the ultimate reduction of the sublime to the chemical, that feeling of cosmic unity, a flood of serotonin, the fire of divine purpose, a spike of dopamine, the warm embrace of grace, the gentle blanket of oxytocin. This is not a dismissal of the sacred, but a recontextualization. It suggests that the conduit for the ultimate is built into the wetware of the brain, that the soul's language is written in molecules, and that transcendence is a state of exquisite, temporary, electrochemical balance. Dancing on the event horizon of the self. The final frenzied and beautiful performance before the point of no return. It is the exploration of the absolute limit of identity, with one foot in the known self and the other in the overwhelming pull of the unknown. You move. The dance is chaos and perfect form. It is the celebration of the moment before dissolution, the embrace of the gravity that will inevitably tear you apart, finding a terrible, perfect freedom in the acknowledgement that you are about to become something else entirely. Minerals. The silent council of the earth within the body. They are the judges and the jury, the foundation and the spark. They are not alive, yet they permit life. They do not speak, yet they govern every whisper of thought, every surge of will. They are the absolute non-negotiable constituents of being, the elemental truth that you are, at your core, a temporary organized collection of dust and stone, animated by a fleeting current. Calcium. The keeper of the architecture. It is the white stone of the skeleton, the silent cliff face upon which the flesh is hung. It is rigidity and structure. It is the memory of form, the living fossil within you. Without its steadfast presence, the body would be a sack of potential, a formless sea. It is the mountain that allows the river to have a bank. Phosphorus. The keeper of the spark. It is the lightning in the bone, the flame in the cell. It is the energy currency, the match struck to power a thought, a heartbeat, a movement. It is the hidden fire, the luminous essence trapped in the chemical bond, waiting to be released to fuel the great and small works of the body. Magnesium. The keeper of the calm. It is the soft green of a leaf, the deep quiet of a forest. In the body, it is the mineral that soothes the excited nerve, that softens the clenched muscle, that turns the shriek of the system into a hum. It is the antidote to the frantic, the element of quiet regulation, the gentle hand on the shoulder of the metabolism. Sodium. The keeper of the ocean. It is the thirst, the craving, the primal salt of the blood. It is the element that calls for water, that governs the balance of the inner sea, that drives the impulse and the conduction of the nerve. It is the taste of tears and sweat, the ancient memory of the brine from which all life first crawled. Potassium. The keeper of the beat. It is the counterpoint to sodium, the quiet pulse within the cell. It is the regulator of the heart's drum, the essential partner in the electric dance of consciousness. It is the internal rhythm, the metronome of the body, ensuring the music of the self does not descend into a rhythmic chaos. Chloride. The silent partner, the shadow anion. It goes where sodium leads, the necessary negative to a positive charge. It is the uncelebrated balance, the quiet peacemaker in the ionic war, the element that makes the space for electricity to flow. It is the void that gives the signal its path. Sulfur. The keeper of the bond. It is the smell of lightning, the stink of divinity. Within the body, it is the bridge, the strong covalent handshake that holds the vital shapes of proteins together. It is the strength in the strand, the resilience in the structure, the element that allows form to hold under pressure. Iron. The keeper of the breath. It is the red rust at the core of life itself. In the heart of the hemoglobin, it is the magnet for oxygen, the tiny metallic fist that grabs the air and will not let go until it is delivered. It is the color of passion and vitality, the literal iron in the blood, the sword and shield of the body's armor. Copper. The keeper of the wire. It is the penny in the fuse box. It is the essential element for the weaving of collagen, for the integrity of the nervous system's insulation. It is the minerality of connection, the element that ensures the signals travel cleanly and the structure holds its weave. Zinc. The keeper of the word. It is the key that unlocks the genetic text. It is essential for the transcription of DNA, for the speaking of the code into action. It is the librarian of the cell, the element that allows the blueprint to be read, the silent enabler of every command that makes a body function and grow. Iodine. The keeper of the furnace. It is the fuel for the thyroid, the element that stokes the metabolic fire. It governs the tempo of consumption, the rate at which the body burns its fuel. It is the thermostat of the self, the dial that controls the speed of being. Selenium. The keeper of the sacrifice. It is the antioxidant sentinel. It offers itself up to the fires of oxidation, burning in place of more delicate cellular structures. It is the martyr element, the one that dies so that the rest might live longer, a tiny mineral Christ in the body's temple. Manganese, the keeper of the tool. It is the essential cofactor, the wrench in the enzymatic toolbox. It is the element that enables specific, crucial reactions to proceed, from the processing of nutrients to the building of bone. It is the quiet, specialized mechanic of the body's workshop. Fluoride. The keeper of the fortress wall. It is the mineral that incorporates itself into the crystal matrix of the teeth, hardening the defenses against the relentless acid of the world. It is the element of armor, the strategic reinforcement of the body's most exposed structures. Chromium. The keeper of the keyhole. It is the element that helps insulin fit into its receptor, the minute adjustment that allows the cell to accept the fuel it needs. It is the precision, the slight turn of the lock that opens the door for sugar, a master of minute, essential diplomacy. Cobalt. The heart of the beast. It sits at the center of the vitamin B12 molecule, a metallic king on an organic throne. Without this tiny hard center, the red blood cells falter, the nerves suffer. It is the proof that even the most organic of processes relies on a core of unyielding, elemental truth. Molybdenum. The keeper of the detox. It is the element at the center of enzymes that break down harmful sulfates and other toxins. It is the janitor of the system, the silent, efficient worker that takes out the trash, preventing the slow poisoning of the self from within. The follicular phase. The inner landscape of quiet preparation. This is the time after the cleanse of bleeding, when the body becomes a fertile field under a low sun. Energy begins a slow upward curl like a new shoot. The mind cleared by the purge of the previous cycle is opened to new ideas, new connections. It is a time of building, of plotting, of silent cellular optimism. It is the architectural stage where the blueprint for a new potential is drawn, full of clean lines and open space, before the hormonal weather of ovulation arrives.